Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode. I'm glad you're here because today we need to talk about something serious that's affecting millions of people across the United States right now. Yes, the government shutdown. And the question I keep getting from so many seniors is this: will Social Security checks still come in October? Now I know some of you are scrolling through social media, reading post after post, and it feels like every headline is screaming checks are stopping or payments delayed. And it's scary, right? Because when you rely on that monthly deposit, you can't afford uncertainty. Rent doesn't wait, bills don't wait, medication doesn't wait. But let me just pause for a second. I'm outside today walking and filming this because I wanted some fresh air, and I thought, you probably need fresh air too. The news can feel heavy. Every time you turn it on, it's negativity, crisis, and warnings. But here's the first thing I want you to know. Your October Social Security checks are still coming. Yes, even with a shutdown, those checks don't stop. Social Security is funded differently than the rest of the government's budget. The money comes from trust funds, not Congress's day-to-day spending bills. So no matter what Washington argues about, retirees, SSI recipients, and SSDI beneficiaries will see their payments. That's the good news. But, and there's always a but in politics, isn't there? A shutdown doesn't come without problems. Let me explain. When Washington can't agree on a budget, thousands of federal workers are sent home. Agencies close or slow down. So while you'll still get your Social Security money, you might run into roadblocks if you need something extra. For example, replacement cards, help with appeals, background paperwork, or updates to your file. These little services get disrupted, and sometimes even getting through on. The phone feels like pulling teeth. I remember the last time I had to call the Social Security office. I was on hold for over an hour. The music looped so many times I thought I'd memorized it. And that was without a shutdown. Imagine adding this crisis on top of that. It's going to test people's patience. Now let me stop here. Look around with me. The sky is clear today. The air is cool, and I can hear birds in the distance. Sometimes, in the middle of all this political noise, it's important to take a step back and remind yourself, the world is still moving, life is still happening, and we can get through this. But back to the shutdown. Why does this even keep happening? Congress has one main job: pass a budget. That's literally their assignment. Yet here we are again, facing a crisis because leaders can't agree on numbers and priorities. And while they argue, seniors are left worrying about rent and food. Does that sound fair? Not at all. And let me add this. Every shutdown fuels more fear, because even though Social Security benefits keep going, people start asking, what if one day they don't? What if one day the system is so strained, so underfunded, that the checks really are at risk? That's where the warning comes in. The shutdown itself doesn't cut your payments, but it highlights just how fragile the whole system feels. Think about it. Congress refuses to properly fund Social Security staff. Offices are understaffed, calls go unanswered, paperwork gets delayed. It's already frustrating without a shutdown. Now add political theater into the mix, and it creates a crisis of confidence. People lose trust that the system will be there when they need it. So let's talk curiosity for a moment. If the checks are safe, what's the real danger? The real danger is in the long-term warning signs. Because shutdown after shutdown, seniors are told, don't worry, your money is safe. But meanwhile, behind the scenes, the trust funds are projected to face shortfalls in the coming years. If Congress can't even pass a budget, do you trust them to fix Social Security before 2035? That's the question that keeps me up at night. And here's another angle. The longer a shutdown drags on, the more pressure it puts on services. Need to change your bank account for direct deposit? That could be delayed. Need help applying for disability benefits? Expect longer waits. Need an appeal handled quickly? Good luck. So while checks keep flowing, seniors still feel the pinch. I want you to picture this. Imagine a line outside your local Social Security office. It's already long on a normal day. Now add frustrated people who couldn't get through on the phone because staff were sent home. Add delays from the shutdown. Suddenly that line doubles. That's the reality people will face in October if Congress doesn't do its job. And yes, I'm calling it out. Congress isn't doing its job. It doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. Republican, Democrat, Independent, seniors deserve better. You paid into this system your entire working life. These are your benefits, not gifts, not handouts. And every time Washington plays politics with the budget, it's seniors who feel the stress first. Now, I don't want this video to be all doom and gloom. Let's balance it out. The checks are secure, the system is designed to protect them, and for October, your payments are scheduled as usual. That's the comfort. But here's the challenge. We can't let that comfort turn into complacency. We can't ignore the cracks in the system just because the money is still flowing today. Let me tell you something personal. When I read your comments, so many of you say, I depend on this check for groceries, for medicine, for rent. Some of you even tell me that without it, you don't know how you'd survive. And honestly, that breaks my heart because it shows how vital Social Security is. It's not extra, it's not luxury money, it's survival. So when I hear politicians argue about budgets, shutting down the government, pointing fingers instead of solving problems, I get angry for you. Because you deserve security, not stress. You deserve peace of mind, not panic every time the news mentions the word shutdown. Let's pause again. I'm walking past a park, kids are playing, families are out, and life feels normal here. That's the irony, isn't it? Out here, people are living. But in Washington, the decisions they make create ripples that reach every household. Even here, in this peaceful moment, seniors are wondering, will my check arrive? And that thought weighs heavy. Claim now. 5 relief checks up to $1,500 Americans can still get in 2025. See if you qualify for the cash. Every year, different states run stimulus check schemes to benefit their citizens. This can come as a rebate to account for a rise in something like inflation, or be a program targeting something specific like help paying energy bills. New York will send checks worth up to $400 as an inflation rebate to those who filed their 2023 tax return. Payments will be sent out from the end of September into early October. Single tax filers earning no more than $75,000 a year will get $200, and those earning between $75,000 and $150,000 will get $150. This is the same for those who are married but filed separately in 2023. Joint tax filers who earn up to $150,000 will get the full $400 payment, and those between $150,000 and $300,000 will get $300. Most homes that earn less than a combined $500,000 a year will receive $350 to $600 in STAR credit. Seniors with incomes below $107,300 qualify for the enhanced STAR benefit. This pays out anywhere from $700 to $1,500. Payments are being distributed based on local school tax deadlines, and some counties have got it already. Those in New York City, Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse received the e-payment in July. Others will receive it this month and further into the fall. In Pennsylvania, homeowners and renters in are being paid between $380 and $1,000. The payments are being sent out to those 65 and older, widows and widowers 50 and over, and anyone over the age of 18 with a disability. A person's household income must be below $46,520 to apply to. This amount goes up in the supplemental rebate program for those living in Philadelphia, Scranton, and Pittsburgh. The supplemented amount is calculated for property owners with $31,010 or less in income, whose property taxes are more than 15% of their total income. Maryland is making $200 million available to its residents to help with the cost of their energy bills. During the last fiscal year, the state received more than 156,000 applications for energy assistance, and more than 117,000 were approved, per WBAL. Senate President Bill Ferguson, D. District 46, said that each Maryland household will receive 2 bill credits. The 2 rebates will average about $40 per utility bill. The first credit was paid out towards the end of the summer, and another will be paid across January and February. The Montana property tax rebate pays qualifying residents up to $400 in property tax relief on their primary residence for the tax year of 2024. Montana has received over 197,000 rebate applications as of September 18th, per the Ekalaka Eagle. The deadline to apply for the relief is set for October 1st, 2025, and the fastest way to claim is by visiting the website getmeyerbait.mt.gov. Rebates will be issued via a paper check in the mail, and most electronically filed applications are issued within 30 days of filing. Rebates filed by paper may take up to 60 days to process. So here's the bottom line. October checks are coming. Retirement, SSI, SSDI, you will get paid. Services might be disrupted. Be prepared for longer waits. The real crisis isn't today, it's the future, and shutdowns are warnings that if leaders can't agree on basics now, the long-term fixes for Social Security are in danger too. Before I close this video, let me leave you with a challenge. In the comments, share one thing you're worried about with this shutdown and one thing you're grateful for. Why both? Because while it's okay to acknowledge fear, it's also powerful to remind ourselves of hope. For me, I'm worried that Congress is setting a dangerous precedent, showing us they can't even pass a budget on time. But I'm grateful that seniors can still count on their October checks, and I'm grateful for you, for building a community where we can talk honestly about these issues. If this video helped clear up some of the confusion, please like it, share it, and subscribe. I'll keep bringing you updates on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and everything happening with this shutdown. Together we'll stay informed, prepared, and maybe even a little hopeful. So don't panic, stay aware, and remember, your October checks are on the way.